Welcome everyone to this new session and this webinar podcast with a bunch of friends. So a very exciting day today, a bit of French touch also to talk about and to revisit what we went through at Amazon Unboxed in Austin in October 2024. So maybe a small tour of who's who. Lawrence, you're first.
Okay, thank you, Jerome. Very excited and very honored to be part of this call today. I'm the CEO and founder of Retail for Brands, boutique specialized in all things e-commerce. And what we seek for our clients is retail excellence at scale.
Boom. Now try and do better, Tariq and Francois.
Better, it would be hard to do better than him. So I'm Taïk, CEO of M19. We are a software for mainly for ads automation that is retail aware, that is used by agencies to optimize for ads, sponsor products, brands, and display all ad formats. And we are finalizing our version to optimize DSP campaigns as well.
Yoo-hoo.
Coming soon.
So I'm Francois. I'm a co-founder as well of M19. So we just try to say like the same thing of Tari, but in a very short way. So M19, it's an ad tool powered by AI. It's a self-service. It's retail centric, and it tries to be a tool like an agency ally. That's all.
Another way of saying with no managed services provided by M19, only self-service software.
We love that, obviously. Okay, let's deep dive into the topic today of Unbox. So first is like who had been to Unbox before and why did you attend? Why did you go this year? Lawrence, you go first. Again.
So I was a virgin. It was my first Unboxed in the US. Yes, I had been invited to Unbox in France. I think at one point or another, you need to go back to what happens. And like it or not, Amazon is an American company. And they're still 3 years ahead of who we are and what we do. And I think it was a great opportunity, not as much to attend the keynotes and the presentation, which kind of give the tone of those 2 or 3 days that we spend together, but really trying as much as possible to meet the people that actually built the roadmap, right? And you really do that off the record. You do that off Unboxed. And it's, being very humble, being a French European company, you're not going to influence the roadmap, but understanding, the reason why the roadmap is going into that direction, what are the structural changes that are happening on the market at the moment? And you only feel that from those off conversations, right? And the keynote, you could stay in France and you could stay in the UK or you could stay in Germany and just, read the extract about it or see it live. But I think the value is talking to those people and being it then to be able to share with your likes, should they be, we met there, but we also met other competitors and friends, and understanding, what they've seen and how they've understood it. And it's a bit that moment where, you're not in the day-to-day and you can think of how your roadmap is also going to evolve, because at one point or another, Amazon sets the tone. And the people that you're seeing that are doing those keynotes, they do set the tone for what's going to happen in the next 18 months.
So the importance of understanding the roadmap, I think it's indeed you get to see a lot of things in the future also because the one-on-one discussions, people unveil some part of the roadmap they don't give in publicly. So I totally agree with that. Francois and Tariq, what was why did you attend? Why did you come this year?
So on our side, we already attended Unboxed in London, which was more like a European Unboxed, and also in Paris, but it was more like a French Unboxed. So coming to Austin was like the first global event. For me, it was more like a US-centric event. So on top of what Lawrence already said, I would say that it was a great opportunity to, to meet with people, especially from the US market. It's a great way for us to have a better understanding of the US market, but it's also a way to be evangelized by the Amazon guy that we meet, but also try to evangelize on our side. Not as Lorenz said that we don't even try to influence the roadmap, but just being identified as a partner and potentially a kind of key partner in Europe is really important to us, because then we can start building the right type of connection in Amazon.
Yeah, definitely it was our first and definitely not our last. It was so interesting, not only in terms of content, knowing more about what will be happening in the future, but also the relationships you build there, the network you can get, the people you have access to, mainly like product guys, management guys from Amazon that you won't meet anywhere else. They are all in the same place, and you can talk to them. So yes, it was very, very useful for the networking side of things. And what was surprising for us is also to see value of having all the ad tech players in the same place. Even competitors, we had very good discussions with them, very constructive, by seeing what are their pains, how they are growing, what are their different personas they are going for. It was very fruitful for us, and we were surprised to have that type of discussions with direct competitors that we weren't planning to to talk to. But yeah, thanks to you, Jerome, and other people who made the introductions, we had to talk to other tech partners, and we will keep doing that.
Yeah.
And we are even having like now connections with them. And so yeah, very, very nice event. We'll do it definitely each year now.
Yeah, for me it was I think the fourth time I was going to the US unboxed. And I would say two things. The first thing is a bit similar to Jeff Cohen said on another podcast, saying that the fact of meeting the people on the alleys, and you could be competitors, could be customers, could be people of the same industry, like the sharing pain points, sharing, like listening to other things or learning stuff is really valuable. And usually I come back with a lot of new ideas and pumped, and it was a lot of things. The second thing I wanted to share is that it was always in New York. And for us Europeans, New York is much easier to go to than to Austin. And I was complaining a lot that it was in Austin and that New York is much better. But actually in New York, a lot of the Amazon people got their offices. So they're kind of on and off a bit, and you do get them, but it's a different thing than having everyone in Austin, where most of them, as far as I know, didn't have offices in Austin. So they were all traveling there. So it gives really like a feeling of offsite, and that makes it like a special moment. So I think it was actually a bit better than the one in New York, even if it's further away for us. And next year we'll be in Nashville, so I think they are trying to get this localized bar. That's why the unboxed US is very US centric. The one in Paris is French. The one in Düsseldorf next week will be in German, etc., etc. So I think it's also an inspiration, because I don't know many organizations like that which are going with the same kind of theme and working about like localization, which is like what you want to do with your PDPs, right? They're doing also with their shows and sort of talking to the end consumers. So that's a bit about the why. Now, talking about like announcements and stuff which were announced during the show, what was the ones you preferred, or which you think will have biggest impact for you, for the business, for your customers? Lawrence, maybe you can start again.
I'm going to answer on 2 points. I think that there's a few things which the first is the level of simplification to which they're going to, right? In particular, making some of the buys more, I would say, buyer-centric. In particular, scaling performance plus for non-endemics or semi-endemics in particular. meaning putting a bit more AI and opportunity. Um, the second point is about automation. I now understand the level of, API opportunities.
We've lost Lawrence. He was mentioning the AI opportunities, so that's the live things. Did you follow a bit the AI opportunities?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
you're back.
you stop at AI opportunities. Okay, we can't hear you anymore, but yeah, you're
Lawrence,
back.
you're back.
Yeah, let me change networks.
It's an AI which has attacked you.
Yeah, but talking about AI opportunities, one of the new AI powered features that was announced by Amazon during unBoxed was the audience boost. That was the first audience based capability that was released on sponsored ads, sponsored products, which is, I think, a strong signal of providing more and more features and capabilities and control that is at user level, audience level within sponsored products ad format, which is coherent with all their efforts, all the effort Amazon is doing around Amazon Marketing Cloud, make it accessible to everybody, even people without DSP entities, etc., etc. So now, thanks to AMC, where you are able to measure properly at the most granular level your performances on different audiences that you can build yourself, they went to the next step of allowing you to, in your sponsored ads campaign, to boost and go even more aggressive on some very specific audiences that are pre-built within Amazon Advertising Console, and this is mainly AI based, or that you build yourself using Amazon Marketing Cloud that now is available and open for all the advertisers, not only the big ones that are having or that have significant DSP budget, but even to small and medium advertisers without any DSP campaigns, they have access to the AMC. They will have access also to the audience builder within AMC that they will be able to activate and boost on the sponsored ads area.
And Francois, do you have any
Yeah, it's more like as Lawrence told, what he was talking about simplification. I think for me it was one of the keyword of Unboxed this year. And as a kind of symbol, I really like the AI Creative Studio. You know, the possibility that you have to use AI to build either videos or banners or even audio ads. I think this is just, even if we were not part of the market, just showing how it works. That was really impressive, really, really impressive. And then you know that for most of the small players, it's a great way for them to save tons of time. And even though they don't, I think most of them don't have, means to be able to build this kind of video. So it's a way for them to access to the video inventory. So that's really great. It's also, I know, a great way to have like videos per market. So a way to have different way to talk to different audiences without having necessarily a big team working on different type of videos. So for me, simplification and especially this example was really a strong element. And what about you, Jérôme?
So, like for me, it was I was I'm in line with what you said. I was thinking like the for our kids to build a business and to launch a new product will be so much easier than when we were like young kids or when we started after school because you had to go through a buyer, you had to go like there's so many things you didn't have access to, and now you can probably create and or within the few years because the AI is still not perfectly working, or it's really working well, but it's not everything's not perfect yet. It's amazing how things are simplified, and obviously the larger brands with larger budgets will always manage that they have the budgets to have great videos and so on. So, and that's cool. That's wonderful. But the smaller ones, that I find that very exciting to be in that space. And I know, Lawrence, you wanted to share a bit about AI yourself and what you learned during the show. So was it also the AI which was most impressive for you?
Yeah, I think at one point or another, AI has been such a buzzword uh, that it's the incarnation of true AI. And I think in this room, talking to Tariq and to Francois, they've been doing AI for us for 5 years. You know, um, but at the end of the day, there are things where you need to be directly integrated into the system, and you mentioned it. You mentioned the fact that through the usage of AI, though it's only the beginning, you can start to include tangible, you know, personalized messaging into your platform, which means that, and you've touched base on it, which is for a very long period of time, if you wanted to have a full funnel strategy, you needed big budgets, right? And I think what Amazon is doing is it's finally getting some scale of democratization when it comes to full funnel. You can, if you were a seller, even if you'd be doing 500,000 euros a year in net revenue on Amazon, you'd be able to advertise on TV now. That's a radical change and a radical move, right? Which means that both our clients, which are mid-scale clients and mid-sized clients, they can have access to video, but also means that our large clients that have been doing video need to change the way they communicate with their consumers, right? Those challenges are extremely exciting, way beyond the tech and the tactical aspect. That's a radical change. If you're Unilever P&G, this is going to change the way you do business in the next 20 years.
And a question on that front. I've always thought that Amazon is actually a larger opportunity for smaller players, which are less distributed, have less issues of pricing everywhere, have less are more agile. But could we say that now with all this new technology, the fact that it's very democratic and like every brand can go there, is that actually becoming more difficult for larger companies, and that the fact that they're opening for everyone makes it like a more of a hurdle for larger companies? And I think we've all had examples of brands saying, okay, I have a competitor I've never known the name before, and actually on Amazon, they are only on Amazon and they are much better than us on that category. So is this thing actually a threat for larger companies?
I'd say that we're talking about ads, but let's consider Amazon as a whole for a few seconds. Amazon used to be this everything store, right? Now the objective of Amazon is to switch from everything store to everyday store, right? And to be an everyday store, you need to have consistency in the quality of what you deliver. That's what historically big brands have been doing, right? You know that if you're buying a P&G or Unilever product, you will have a certain level of quality, right? So it's both a threat and an opportunity. Out of the 20 large FMCG brands out there, let's say 50, you are bound to have about 10, 20 that are going to get it, right? And from a strategic standpoint, they get it, right? It's a massive opportunity to address very niche audiences as well, and mass audiences, right? But it's also a threat to those that will not make the change. If you do not consider Amazon both in your retail strategy and your communication strategy, and you are an FMCG brand or a consumer electronic brand, you're making a massive mistake, right? and it's not using the same recipes that you used to have and transferring to Amazon. It's a different ball game altogether, right? Those that will have the power and the strength and the level of investment that large FMCG brands have, and the agility of those small players, they will make a difference on this market, right? And at the end of the day, that's your job, Jérôme. It's my job as well, right? To make sure that the brands that we're working with are fit for the future.
Like it's bringing that level of agility inside the organization, which is in some organizations more complicated than others. But like switching to M19, because you are helping the ad management, like the simplification of ad management through AI, right? So you talk to smaller companies, to larger companies through the agencies you work with. What's your approach on that? Saying, okay, you help in a way AI in general, but then you also help smaller companies challenge larger companies, right? So how do you see that as a like looking at the ecosystem? Should larger companies be worried about that?
I would summarize it in two parts. There are two worlds that are completely different. You have the SMBs, who are not concerned by most of the announcement and what was happening during unboxed, all these measurement capabilities, the full funnel, the display, the advanced things that a big advertiser should be doing. And you have the enterprise big brands that has a lot of constraints, that wants a lot of control, that needs to react fast and adapt fast to this fast evolving ecosystem that is Amazon, that is very different from what they are accustomed to. So on the SMBs part, I believe that AI, either through a third-party software like M19 or by Amazon themselves, will be doing the job perfectly. Like you will give the AI, here is my budget, here are my constraints, even maybe without even giving a lot of creative assets, just some colors or whatever logo, and the AI can take it from there and can come up with even a full funnel, like some awareness campaign, some sponsor product, blah, blah, blah. And the AI will be able to do that. So I see the AI doing this work for SMBs. But you have all these other big brands that needs to adapt to these full funnel advanced capabilities from, as Lauren said, all these new video accessible formats. For example, Twitch. Twitch is something very not very new, but for endemic advertisers, it might seem weird to go advertise on replays or live gamers that are showcasing what they are doing. But there's so many traffic and opportunities and cohorts that are relevant to the brands themselves that they need to be there and do it in the right manner and measure it in the right way with the right attribution, etc., etc. So to sum up, I think that the AI will do most of the work either through third party or Amazon directly giving the tools internally to do the full funnel simplified ads for these SMBs. On the other side, the unboxed world with the advanced full funnel measurement and reportings. In this area, I don't believe that the AI will help maybe enhance in some areas of the funnel, but it won't be doing all the work. We will still need like agencies, tools, consultancy to adapt in for each brand, because each brand has its own specificities, and we see all these announcements that are going also into this direction of giving more control, giving more measurements, giving more capabilities to do custom, for example, attributions, etc., etc.
And Tariq, if we look at what is done on the Meta and Google side of the world. There's never been as much AI, much more in the campaign management that we have in the Amazon environment. And you've never seen so many consultants and so many agencies, right? Because at the end of the day, I think that, you need better strategy, because the pure buying game becomes even. And if brands want to differentiate, they need better tooling, they need better thinking, and they need more robust reporting associated to that. And I haven't seen any of those agencies disappear. I've seen them thrive more than anything else. And,
I have
There are more threats for techs than for agencies.
but for tech as well, I mean, it's being able to see and to adopt the changes. And if you think of, I think going back to what Tariq said, one of the very exciting announcements, but that wasn't really highlighted as much, as being able to target audiences on the search platform. That's going to be a very big change. It says a lot about the change, and it says as much of a change of the ads business that it says in terms of retail business, meaning that, when I'm buying pens or when I'm buying coffee, I don't have the same attitude as Jerome or my mother-in-law, right? Because when I'm buying coffee, I'm buying coffee for the whole office, right? Maybe Jerome as well, right? But my mother-in-law, for sure, she's not buying the same coffee.
I, I,
Mm.
I see that. Like
Yeah.
upgraded to be compared to your mother-in-law. But yeah, Francois.
No, I wanted to add something, but it's more like you have this feeling that you have two worlds now, like the e-commerce platform, Amazon, and the advertising space. On the e-commerce platform, small brands compared to big brands, yes, there is a threat for big brands if they are not part of this e-commerce platform. So in France, it's still the case. You have big brands that don't consider Amazon like something that is key in their strategic plan. So for sure, small and medium brands will be a threat for them. And then, but if you are part of this e-commerce space, and I think it's not a big deal, because this space is growing, so there is space for everyone. So this is about e-commerce. Then you have the advertising space for Amazon, like Amazon Ads. And it's something that you, Jerome, highlighted and told me at Austin. It's like, for the first time, we have the feeling that it's like Amazon Ads could be a single company with a clear vision on the advertising space, something which is not anymore an extension of the Amazon e-commerce space. It's really like an ads company, and ads company means that's something that is maybe easier to use for big brands, because they know how to use all those different tools that you can find in this space, how to play with upper funnel, how to play with awareness, how to play with specific audiences building, and they know how to deal with that more maybe than small and middle brands.
I have a thought-provoking question on that point. Is that we know that if you look at larger numbers, Amazon in terms of ad budgets is much smaller than Google and Facebook, Instagram, so on. It's growing faster, usually than the others, but they're still much smaller. We can see that they're releasing a lot of like full funnel strategies which are complex, or full funnel like tools which can help you attack full funnel, but they are also making it very democratic for also SMBs to attack it. So the question is, maybe is actually the El Dorado, like the large part of the market, not SMBs, and they're trying to crack actually SMB. They're kind of working with a few of the larger brands to make a few names, but would it be Amazon's strategy to go after SMBs, because that's where the big part of the business is and where they could crack much more budget in general? Could that be their strategy? Lawrence, what's your take on that?
So I was lucky enough to be on what was called the Leadership Summit, And the great thing is it gave us access, and there's different levels of things that people from Amazon can say, right? There's the keynotes, and basically they can't say much. Then there's behind closed doors, and they can say some things, but not that much. And then there's the off, from the Amazon people. And you do realize that at one point or another, what they want to do is they want to create an even playing ground, right? Of course, in the next 5 years, it will be, when it comes to full funnel and videos in particular, it will be, the big brands that will help to create the market and structure the market. But at the end of the day, I insist that the brands that will get it and will make a difference is the brands that have the agility of an SMB. Because at the end of the day, if you can prove with scale that online video, great content, generates a difference long term for your business, then that's going to change everything altogether, right? And if you consider other channels, not only Amazon, how many companies do we know now that have made their business on TikTok or Instagram, right? And initially, it was just video and content. I know that's a radical change. You have to take it into consideration. So I think at one point or another, they know that the people that have the habits are those big brands, big companies. But moving forward, it's making everything accessible to SMBs equally. And
So doing
yes,
full funnel, you're saying of all the type of customers from very large to small ones, they want to
yeah,
win on every that would be what you feel after talking to leadership from Amazon.
yeah. I mean, at one point or another, there is yes, we're talking about things being simple and everything, but at one point or another, there's an entry cost to that. And the entry cost is tech. Um, and no, I think we all come back from those events with so many things, and the question is not having the ideas, just getting them done, right? Um, I think you've all come back and said, "Hey, this is what we need to do, and we've done this and that, and blah blah blah." It's just making a difference and making a tangible return on investment difference.
On the M19 side, what's your take on like the size of SMBs versus is that you feel that's a major target versus
Yeah, I remember when I was hired by Google like 17 years
years ago?
ago, a long, long time ago. Google was even quite a small company. I remember that what was great, and for me, the most innovative thing about Google AdWords was this possibility to give access to advertising for very small brands. I remember that with AdWords, that was making a big difference. And then, big financial strategies forced the sales team at Google to focus more on big brands, which was a shame. And I think now it's a bit a mix. The difference with Amazon is that we're not just talking about advertising here. Once again, Amazon has also the possibility to help brands to do e-commerce, not just being visible on the internet, but being able to sell on the internet. So I think this is making a huge difference because they can have an impact. When we say full funnel, it's really the full funnel. It's from the awareness with the conversion and helping those brands to do that. And I think this is making a big difference. So yeah, I would give a bet that maybe Amazon will be able to crack this one more than the others.
Well, having a very big retail tool and a big advertising tool. Yeah, Tarek, sorry, you wanted to say something.
No, just to add on what François said of cracking the SMB's part, I'm not sure 100%, but if I'm not mistaken, through one of our discussion with some leadership people on the Amazon side during unBoxed, we learned that around 80% of ads revenue is from SMBs. I was surprised to see a share that big. So, but again, I'm not really sure about this figure. I need
But it was massive. It was
to check it again. And one of our key takeaways is it was even before Unbox. We had an internal project to serve and go after these SMBs in a very, very simplified way and a very accessible way. doing ads and promoting products on Amazon. We are calling it Autopilot by M19. So we have basically two streams. One is this new thing, Autopilot, where we make it very convenient and easy for a seller, because they don't even qualify and call themselves as an advertiser. They have a budget in mind, a ROAS, and that's it. They don't know anything. They just know how to source a product, how to create a listing and sell it. No idea about the marketing side. So we think of serving these people through our autopilot, where they will describe like a budget. Here's my budget, my ROAS. The AI will do the work, and the more mature people that know what they are doing, that like advertisers that want to take control of their ads, of their full funnel, do all the things and measure. This is the M19 offer that is mainly to agency to streamline operations and optimize at each different step. So to answer your question, after the event, we are giving, it's clear for this clear segmentation of the autopilot SMBs advertiser to be served with a super simplified version of M19 and the advanced detailed M19 offer that is mainly there to serve agencies that need an advanced tool to help them in their day-to-day operations.
Okay, thanks. So M19 at least has got an answer to that, like large versus small. You were able to address everyone. So
We try to contribute.
yeah.
Let's see.
To wrap our session, because I think we could go on talking for hours, but as a wrap up, what I suggest is maybe could you say in a very like few sentences to brands, specifically to brands like agencies, of course, but brands, why should they come to Unbox next year in Nashville or to the local Unboxed? What would be your recommendation sentence to them?
I would say come prepared, right? Don't only come for a good time. I mean, in the words of Amazon, be frugal, which means you're not coming here to have a good time. It's a long trip. And what does it mean, come prepared? I think coming prepared with, people that you want to meet and, those expectations. Being prepared also into your mindset. It's a big American company, right? And we are small European boutiques, right? But still, and sometimes that can be a bit,
That could be the name of the podcast, huh? All European boutiques.
But we do good things, right? We need to be proud about what we deliver for our clients, right? And sometimes, it feels like, am I missing out on something because you're only talking about 100 millions budget and things like that. And also be prepared to try and implement a few things behind it, right? Which is, it's a commitment. And I'd say a good unboxed is about a month. It takes about a month, prepare 2 weeks ahead, be at the event for a week and then recuperate to some sense during a week and then implement in the next 2 or 3 months, right? If not, it's not worth your time. Especially in this day and age.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's not obvious. It's like if you want to meet with Amazon people, you should come. If you want to understand the Amazon US market, you should come. If you're a tech, like an international tech, you should come. If you're an agency, like a European agency, that's not obvious. I think it depends if you need to meet with Amazon people, if you want to understand the US market. On my side, I was very happy to go there. As Tariq said, we will come back because I think as a tech company, it was very, very important for us. It's key to be there. But Amazon Unboxed in Amazon US, Unboxed US is not replacing and Amazon Europe. And I think the one that will happen in Düsseldorf will be very like German-centric and not enough European-centric. So I think the London unboxed will be missing this year.
Okay.
I would add on top of the be prepared, be open. I was very surprised on the quality of meetings and people I met during the event that wasn't planned and that weren't prepared. So be open to meet with people and other players that you weren't expecting to meet with. And also, this is not for everybody, but be open also to have some fun, because honestly, I had a great time. Like the party was really good, the food was good, and the social part of it was good. I personally, maybe it's color and flavors, but I personally loved it. So be prepared, be open to meet with people that you won't expect and you won't meet
Like
otherwise.
competitors.
Yeah, and be open also to have some fun. There is great stuff happening there.
Make fun and have fun and make history. I think that's one of Amazon's taglines. We'll probably end up on that. So come prepared. Don't think about what you want to achieve and implement it when you come back. I think that's a very good insight. At the same time, be prepared to be surprised. And for me, I know I feel very energetic afterwards and have a lot of ideas. And for me, they come generally from meeting others and having discussions and saying, so, okay, I need some help here, or I can help you there. And there's a lot of value which sparks from those discussions. So thank you very much, Tarik, Francois, Lawrence. It was great. It's always a happy moment to talk with you guys. I hope everyone will enjoy this webinar slash podcast, and I hope we can meet very soon. If you want to follow everyone, I recommend you follow Lawrence. He produces a lot of posts in French, so you can work on your French, but a lot of new things happen there. And M19 has got also a page. Francois and Tarik will have all the links there. Thank you, everyone, and meet you soon, hopefully somewhere.
Thank you, Jérôme.
See you guys.
Truce.